Hello, YouTube fam. Today we're playing a deck we're calling Dimir Draw, and it's very similar to the Esper Draw deck that I played last month with Rafine and stuff like that, but with Teferi and whatnot. But this time we're leaning more into the whenever you draw your second card each turn mechanic. With Thopter Mechanic, aptly named, Ledger Shredder, and Fairy Vandal, and with that deck. So we're putting more emphasis on drawing 2 cards a turn than we are on um, just raw drawing cards like with Connive and things like that with this deck. Shout out to Jaw for submitting this deck. I've played many Jaw decks on the channel, so I'm looking forward to playing this one as well. Looks like it has a good mana base and everything going on here. And the cards are pretty powerful. You know, Evangel is the staple in the draw decks. Shredder, Connives. And then effectively draws cards for our Fairy Vandal, our Thopter Mechanic. We have Consider to draw cards. Sheltered works well with drawing cards. Kaido draws cards. Gix really is a main factor in this deck. We have a lot of flying here, and so Gix being able to draw extra cards with flying is a pretty good combo. You know, turn 2 flyer, turn 3 Gix is a lot of what we're trying to do around here in this game. Evangel as well, as was we could play turn 2 Evangel, turn 3 Gix, and if they don't have a blocker, we can draw the card. Or on subsequent turns, we can just draw 2 cards and make it have menace, and it's really an evasive 2-drop on turns that aren't exactly turn 3 if you do turn 2 Evangel into turn 3 Gix. So yeah, I'm excited to see this deck. We're just trying to draw cards and profit, I guess. Alrighty, let's get into the games. Okay, wow, we're going first. We have a lot of things to consider with this hand. We'll keep it though. Start with the turn 1 consider. Drop a hello to our opponent. Hello, JEmbers87. Thanks for the hello. Get our consider going. One's playing Deserted Beach. We're looking for lands here. Gixin Puppeteer is not that land. We did draw a land. So we'll pass, play this Vandal. Then next turn, get the card draw going. If we drew exactly a Gix, this next turn we'd be doing it. Alright, they might have a counter here though. Doesn't look like they did. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play this Fairy Vandal first and then a Consider to grow both of them. Don't think I'm in love with the Shore Up. Go ahead and tap the Fairy Vandal. And now we go. We have 2 2-mana, 2/3 flyers going, which is not terrible. I think we'll consider again to get our triggers again. Another Fairy Vandal. We don't have that many more draw effects in our hand, so I think we're going to bottom that. And go after opponent's life total. Pass the turn with some Go for the Throats Up. Opponent is blue, white, something or other, but they haven't interacted with our creatures yet. A temporary lockdown. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay. Putting us in a lockdown. Yes, we do have a Fairy Vandal in the graveyard, so we do get some value off this Puppeteer. Next turn we can gain value with the Evangel. See what if they have anything for our Puppeteer here. We'll play a non-exile removal spell. Enough support, okay. We'll try to get this Evangel down. See if we can get them to lose 2 life here. Thirst for Knowledge, okay. Expect our opponent to discard a basic land. They've hit all their land drops this game so far, so maybe they would access a land in hand. If they don't discard a basic, it probably means they're land light or they already drew all their basics. Oh, it's Thirst for Knowledge artifact. Oh. Holy, what the heck is going on over here? Portal to Phyrexia, and oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Don't want to play this Gix. What is going on here? So can they can invoke Justice back their portal next turn, probably. So we're gonna keep mana up to potentially consider into a counter spell here. Yeah, they're looking at their graveyard. Okay, invoke justice. Alright, let's see if we can hit something good here. Okay, it's a little unfortunate. We're gonna return this Evangel to our hand, I believe. Yeah. Scroll that to the bottom. We're gonna lose this Gix and Puppeteer, but we're gonna get a creature card from our graveyard. Gonna play this Gix, attack with a Fairy Vandal. Pay the life, draw the card. Opponent doesn't have any more portals in the graveyard, so they have to cast a portal. And at this point, I think we want to pass the turn, and they're going to be able to get our Sheldred back, but I think we're fine. We have to go for the throat, so. Yep, target the Shelly. Didn't give us an option to kill it before they drew. Usually it gives you an upkeep stop, or like some sort of stop after they resolve that, but I guess it's usually an upkeep stop, and okay, that's somewhat interesting there. The question is, do we think they have make disappear? Yikes. Kill this in response. See if they have anything like another portal to Phyrexia. If they do, we're dead for sure. Populate. Okay. Pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure we can win now. Our opponent did their thing. Really punished us here. Yeah. Not sure we can win right now. I played this Ledger Shredder backwards. Should have played the Ledger Shredder first, so it could have connived. But really, we're all in on the Menace and Flying. They have one more portal. We're definitely going to concede. One more portal or one Wrath or anything. We're really open to conceding. But if they don't have it, then I guess we'll move on. They have another temporary lockdown, of course. We'll concede as well. It's a pretty good card against us. Interesting deck here from our opponent in general. It's kind of like blue-white control with this portal to Phyrexia, one with the multiverse top end, which is definitely pretty interesting. Opponent's going to gain a bunch of life from this. Yeah, this is going to be tough for us to come back from. And they discarded a Wandering Emperor, so that can't be good news for us. So yeah, GG's. On to the next one. Okay, our opponent's going first. They kept 7. We're also going to keep 7. And I think last game I mentioned that we were looking for a counterspell as an out, and we definitely don't have counterspells in our deck, so that was my bad. We just had no out as soon as we got that portal open, I don't think, when we had that consider up and we were considering to try to get a counterspell. I mistakenly thought we had like a make disappear or something in the list, but we do not. Okay, our opponent on mono red. We're on Dimir draw, so let's see how the matchup is. If you want to be relevant as a deck at all in this format, you got to be able to beat mono red. We pack a lot of removal spells for that purpose, and Ledger Shredder can block the Phoenix Chick. Kind of expect our opponent to play like a 2-mana hasty 2/2 in whatever form that would come from. Maybe our opponent doesn't have lands and they're roping us about it, but we'll see. I'll pause it here. Okay, our opponent played a Mistress Foundry and attacked. Is that all they have? Seems like that's all they have. I'm actually going to play Thopter Mechanic if they're keeping Lightning Strike mana up. That way, if they kill it, we have a 1/1 we can use to block the Phoenix Chick. Lightning strikes my face. Okay. Interesting. And they're impulsing. Don't hit any lands. They've hit this Mechanized Warfare for next turn, maybe, if they do draw a land. I think I'm just going to play the Evangel, try to loot, hit a land. Don't think we want this Kaido. Draw our own cards and attack. See if our opponent drew a land for this Mechanized Warfare or not. Doesn't look like they did. If they had drawn a red land, I'm sure they just would have slammed it and slammed the Mechanized Warfare. Now they're going to play with fire, a Thopter mechanic, and give us a Thopter artifact. And they're not going to play Mishra's, or sorry, a Kamano Faces Kakuzen. Interesting. I think we're going to consider here to try to hit a land drop. On a second Evangel. We are struggling on lands just as much as our opponent is. Okay. And we do have this cut down if our opponent plays a hasty 2-2 or something. Swift Spear, sure. Swift Spear, I'm sure, is coming in. They're going to Lightning Strike. I'm going to cut down the Swift Spear in response. Lightning Strike and the Evangel, we're definitely happy that's not going to our face at least. Alright, we did draw a land. We can only play one spell this turn. Or we could play Go for the Throat plus consider plus leave up Fairy Vandal. I think we'll do that. Well, we do want to get these shreddy boys down, and we want this Fairy Vandal. Probably its slash capabilities are probably pretty good. Okay, let's Chandra. We won't be able to kill that next turn, but we will be able to damage it a good amount. Do they have anything else to play off of it? And a Swifty boy, okay. Not bad, certainly. We're definitely blocking it with this Fairy Vandal. Land, blue untapped land there was really good for us. We're pretty happy about that. Yeah, I think we are going to connive and whatnot. Draw our second card. Sure, it's probably not terrible, honestly. It's probably better than Fading Hope here. Don't have the mana to cast Teferi, so I don't think we want that card. Do get to do some damage to Chandra, which is big. Now our Shredder is going to need to eat an Obliterating Bolt if they want to kill it. Or, you know, a Swift Spear plus block kind of thing. We do have Sheldwards in our deck to gain life. We're at 13, so nothing too crazy happening, but we are having to attack to deal damage to this Chandra. Epicure, okay. Not too scared of that one. Does let them loot away something they don't need at this point. Alright, so this to me indicates that they have a play with fire or something, but probably would rather have it targeting my Ledger Shredder than anything else. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we're definitely fine with that because we get this Connive and eat the Monastery Swift Spear here. Don't really think our opponent thought that one through. Yeah, get rid of this Fading Hope again. Yep, that's all fine. Gonna eat their Swift Spear. It's gonna be my turn. I'm gonna attack the Chandra down, and then we're just probably slamming into their Ledger Shredder, and our opponent really can't beat it. I think they're really relying on that Monastery Swift Spear living, but of course the second spell gives us the Connive. Our opponent didn't need to play the Epicure until post-combat there, but that happens sometimes. That's, you know, that's why you play the deck, try to learn the intricacies of it. So, GG's. Alrighty, on to the next one. Okay, where our opponent goes first and they keep 7. Ugh, this hand doesn't do too much, but it does have lands and spells. We'll keep it. We're recruitment officer. Okay. Well, we have the option to Fading Hope that if we would like. That was not a bad draw. Definitely don't want to see a Thali. Oh, Reckoner Bank Buster. I think we're fine with the Bank Busty going on here. Yeah, I think I want to play the Fairy Vandal end of turn and then play the Evangel so I can get to +1/+1 on the Fairy. Okay, if they're doing it like this, they're not going to be able to recruit. If they just are drawing a card here, we're fine with that. Sure. Opponent's going to have some cards, but, you know, our deck is kind of revolved around drawing cards, so we should be good on that front as well. Honestly, wasn't a bad draw. Yeah, I think we're just going to try to curve into this. Curve into Teferi, you know, next turn Gixin, Puppeteer. Turn after that Teferi. Circle of Confinement. Alright, what are we hitting? Our Evangels, they can get busy. Sure. So I can't crew the Banky. Gonna draw with it though. Next turn we have this Teferi, which is gonna be pretty good. Gonna gain us 2 life probably when we hit draw on it and whatnot. One's got a lot of cards in hand, but we're about to slam a Tef. Borrowed time hitting our Puppeteer. Sure, that's about the worst case scenario on the Puppeteer for us. We would rather have had it eat a regular removal spell. Opponent can definitely crew the Bank Buster this turn. But I think that's fine. We need to draw some cards.
Here I am. Much to consider.
The Fairy's at 5, so it can take 1 hit from the Bank Buster. Oh my goodness. Opponent has all the borrowed times.
The truth still eludes me.
And the Brutal Cathar, okay. Pretty good. I mean, they've had a pretty good draw against our deck so far. Getting in with old Bank Buster. Sure. Well, see if they have even more removal spells for Shelly. Probably gonna kill his Brutal Cathar now. Just so it doesn't... shenanigans don't ensue. They fire up this Reckoner Bank Buster and attack. Means they probably have a... means they probably had a Wandering Emperor, but obviously they just had a removal spell for us. They've had it all this game. I think we're pretty dead now. We'll see what we draw this next turn, but, you know, it's pretty close to a concede right now. But we'll see. It's exactly lethal, so I gotta block. Might as well block the biggest thing. We have this to draw to pump our Thopter mechanic. See if we draw anything good here. Evangel. Certainly not bad, but not ideal either. Can we block our way out of this? I suppose we can. Oh, not anymore. GG's. Alrighty, on to the next one. Okay, we're going first, and this is not a bad hand. We'll keep it. We'll have to see if we want to play this Fairy Vandal before this Consider, or what. See if we can get the +1/+1 on it. Not a bad idea, considering, you know, turn 2 of Consider plus Fairy Vandal is not bad. Okay. Phoenix Chick. Fairy Vandal's going to block in that, so opponent's not usually thinking that's going to come by. Yeah, we'll just pass. Yep. See if our opponent attacks here. Get him to use a removal spell on this Fairy Vandal instead of the Ledger Shredder. Ronin, sure. Do they have anything else? Swift Spear, sure. Gonna be able to eat this Phoenix Chick, which is pretty nice. And the Ronin's going back to their hands. And I think with the... I'll play the Consider. I think I should have played the Otawara there. But that's okay. Now we'll keep up this Go for the Throat. Next turn we'll get double Ledger Shredder, or I might get Ledger Shredder plus Evangel down. Rada, okay. And the Ronin. I would imagine they're attacking with that. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna kill a Rada right now too. And just put our opponent's board in jeopardy. Question is, do we want to play Letter Shredder plus Evangel or plus Shredder? I think we want to do it plus Evangel. And we get rid of a Thopter mechanic. We can grow the Shredder, so we'll do that. And the Puppeteer... Puppeteer's not bad. Yeah, we'll keep the Puppeteer. Tap with a Fairy Vandal. As we saw a flying blocker. And that has 4 toughness as well. Alrighty. Opponent doesn't have any comeback for our deck. GG's. On to the next one. Okay, our opponent's going first. We don't have any blue mana, so I don't think we can keep this hand. This hand definitely has some blue mana, so that's a lot better. Probably going to put this Fading Hope to the bottom. Three lands is kind of where we want to be at for this stage of the game. Crewman Officer, okay. Pass the turn, see what opponent has. Thalia here would be kind of tough. Okay. I'm just going to kill this Crewman Officer while we have the chance. If our opponent plays anything else. The Ocean Frontliner, okay. Can't kill that with our Ronin. Hopeful Initiate. We're just going to play our Thopter mechanic. Hopefully block here. Get our 1/1. They have a removal spell for the Thopter mechanic. If it's, you know, not an exile removal spell, they can... Yeah. Okay, yeah. Easy block for us. Trade and get a little 1/1 hanging back. Obviously, they could unearth that next turn. We'll see if they play anything else. Thalia, sure. We drew a Gix, which isn't bad. I think we'll pass, and we're gonna go for the throat this Thalia this turn. We're gonna see if they unearth their Yoshin Frontliner, though. Because I think that's a good play, given what the board has going on. And if they do that, then I'll attack Thalia. Okay, they're just gonna attack, so kill Thalia now. So they can't get the training trigger. Yeah, no blocks from us. Intrepid adversary, sure. Yep, so we're gonna attempt to draw a card here. Drew a Shelly, which is not bad. Next turn we can just sham a Shelly Boy. If they have a big removal spell, I guess they're probably using it here, so we're hopefully gonna have the coast being clear for Shelly. They're gonna train, but we're gonna block this Gix. They don't. I mean, they could have something that gives it +1/+1. They obviously don't have a Wandering Emperor. Okay, they have a Valorant stance. Definitely fine for us. Okay, so we could play a Thopter mechanic and draw a card. But I think playing Sheltered and just drawing a card is better, so we'll do that. Even though it costs us a life. Well, it's life neutral essentially, so we'll gain the 2 life off the Sheltered, but you know, we'll have taken 2 with the Pain and the Gix. Alright, now we have a Consider as well, which can gain us some life. No, our opponent probably needs another Valorant stance or something to contain this game. They do have it, so we'll consider in response, gain that life. Definitely I'll keep it to Fairy here. And we're going to unearth the frontliner. We'll block the frontliner. Take a kind of a big chunk here. We'll get a Teferi down.
Don't feel bad when you lose. Nobody knows the past better than me.
I think we'll pass. Try to get to the Thopter mechanic next turn. Siege Veteran. Okay, gonna do +1/+1 on this adversary. But I'm thinking, yeah, we would block them all to trade up, I think. Would be the plan there. Okay, yeah, I think we are gonna just... Oh, we can't... So we'll make our opponent choose what they want to kill here. And just block the Intrepid adversary. We'd almost rather our opponent kill the Gix, probably, since we have a second one in hand. The opponent probably should swap those, and they do recognize that that's their best play. I think, yeah, we just want to make a big as board as possible here. I don't think we want second Gix. Don't think we want to attack. Okay, that's a pretty good draw for our opponent. They're gonna have a very big board here. See how good their attacks are, though. Our board's gonna get wider and wider every turn, which is pretty nice. Yeah, we'll definitely block with this Thopter mechanic here. With a Gix. I actually think we're going to block with a Gix. It's our least good creature here, actually, if you can believe that. Because we can just keep drawing and making these other cards bigger. And since we drew a Thopter mechanic, I think, oh yeah, we're just going to try to make them all bigger. And now we have this Fairy Vandal plus other cards here. We have the Spirit to attack with, so I think we'll attack with a Spirit since it has Vigilance. And then we have the Shore Up and the Fairy Vandal. It's looking good here. Dahlia's pretty good though. It does have First Strike too. Okay. Get the Fairy Vandal going. I'm gonna get the Shelly going too. And I think that's probably gonna draw a concession from our opponent with the Shelly, if I had to guess. Since we're just making gigantic creatures at this point. Just traded 2 of their creatures, any 2 of them. So definitely have to attack there. And pass. Yeah, that should be GG. Our opponent was going to need a mini miracle to get out of it. They did not draw that mini miracle. We have just clean blocks and everything they have. Just going to keep drawing here. And I really can only still attack with the Spirit, though. And the Vandal, I suppose. Because this First Striker here is hidden in our way. Yeah, just in case they have a Wrath or something, I probably want to have this Gixin Puppeteer. Brutal Cathar, sure, let's see what they target. Probably my 9/9, so we'll give it Hexproof. So right now it's day. If nobody casts a spell, it's going to become night. So we'll just make sure we cast a spell on our turn and keep that from reflipping and getting tons of value. And there we go. GG's. Alrighty. Decent showing for Dimir Draw. Let's get to the wrap up. And we're back with Dimir Draw, and the deck is it's a good deck. It has some pretty obviously powerful synergies with the drawing card with Thopter Mechanic, Ledger Shredder, Fairy Vandal. So if you're looking for a deck to beat up on mono red with, or just probably super aggro focused decks in general, this is probably a really good one to choose since you have a lot of good removal spells, some solid top end, and you also have 2 mana creatures that you're pretty, happy with playing on turn 2. That can grow into, bigger and bigger creatures as the game goes on and your game plan develops. So it's a pretty good strategy there, I think, to beat, decks like mono red and stuff. But yeah, this is it better than Esper Draw? With Rafine, and some of the other pretty powerful effects that you can get from white, like having elite removal spells in Void Rend or Wedding Announcement, which is really good with the draw plans in general. I don't know, but this certainly has more draw card synergy than that Esper deck did. That deck was relying maybe a little more on raw power with the Wandering Emperor and whatnot as well. So if you're looking for a more draw 2 cards focused synergistic deck, this is definitely it. Teferi is a fantastic card if it stays on the battlefield in this deck. I mean, you saw it in that last game. We just create a battlefield which is just absolutely insurmountable. You just grow every creature you have every turn with the addition of even the minus tokens that you get from the Teferi. It's really pretty absurd. Teferi is just an amazing card. It's one of my favorite cards from this set. If there's someone out there that's thinking about using your Mythic Wild cards on cards from the Brothers War set, Teferi is amongst the top of my list for that. So I would be pretty stoked to be able to play Teferi decks if I was someone who was trying to decide Teferi or maybe like a Portal to Phyrexia or something like that. I just love the gameplay with Teferi. If that's not for you, then make decisions that are best for you, obviously. But it's an amazingly fun card. Does everything it feels like. But yeah, the overall deck was pretty good. Gix is a pretty good card. Turn 2 creature into turn 3 Gix. It's pretty powerful state to be in. It can just snowball you games if your opponent, plays a Reckoner Bankbuster on turn 2 or something. If you're on the play, it can kind of just snowball them out of the game that way. But yeah, thanks again to Draw for submitting the deck. And until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.